How does a kid from a tough Hawaiian town go from fighting on the beaches to becoming one of the greatest UFC champions ever?
Max Holloway is the undisputed UFC featherweight champion!
This is the story of Max Blessed Holloway, a relentless warrior who redefined what it means to fight with heart inside the octagon.
Oh, big connection late!
Early life and amateur career. Jerome Max Kalei Holloway was born on December 4th, 1991 in Honolulu, Hawaii, and he grew up in the rough neighborhood of Waianae. Holloway had a difficult childhood, as both of his parents struggled with drug addiction, and his father Mark was abusive towards his mother. When Max was just 11, his dad abandoned them. Despite these circumstances, Max's mother, Missy Kapoi, eventually recovered from her struggles with substance abuse and focused on providing a stable life for Max with the support of extended family, specifically his grandparents. Waianae, known for its tough, fight-oriented culture and tight-knit community, shaped Max's early years. Growing up, Holloway often witnessed local fighters training at makeshift gyms or even the beaches, which inspired him to take up combat sports. This exposure to a resilient and supportive community helped him understand the value of discipline and hard work from a young age. The area is often characterized by its resilience and toughness, where many young people turn to combat sports as both a way to stay out of trouble and to build a sense of pride and identity. It was a community where toughness was a necessity, and fighting skills were often a means of survival. Despite the hardships, Holloway remained determined to find a better path for himself. Max attended Waianae High School, where he developed discipline through sports like soccer and surfing. These sports not only kept him active, but also taught him the importance of teamwork, resilience, and dedication. Soccer helped Holloway build endurance, while surfing gave him balance and agility. As a 15-year-old teenager, he found a constructive outlet in kickboxing. After only 3 days of training, he won his first amateur fight. Holloway's natural talent in combat sports became apparent, and he quickly pursued a career in mixed martial arts. By the time he graduated in 2010, Holloway had already compiled a 4-0 amateur MMA record, signaling his potential for a professional career. These early fights showcase his raw talent and determination, with each victory adding to his confidence and helping him refine his striking and grappling skills. His ability to stay composed under pressure and adapt to different opponents was evident, even at this early age, setting the foundation for his future success in professional MMA. After finishing high school, Holloway made his professional debut in 2010 in local Hawaiian promotions, showing early promise. He fought at Destiny MMA and X1 events, quickly gaining attention with several wins, including securing the X1 Lightweight Championship. His dynamic striking style, shaped by his kickboxing background, quickly drew attention and helped him rise through the ranks. Holloway was known for his relentless work ethic, often training long hours and consistently seeking to improve his skills. He also trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, expanding his arsenal to become a well-rounded mixed martial artist. Holloway's early training took place with Team Ruthless, a local gym in Hawaii, where he honed his striking skills. Holloway's early career was characterized by a hunger to prove himself. He traveled across the islands, taking on any opponent he could find, eager to test his abilities and gain experience. His willingness to learn different disciplines made him a versatile fighter. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gave him a strong ground game, while Muay Thai honed his striking techniques. Holloway's ability to blend these skills made him a formidable competitor, and his performances in local fights caught the attention of UFC scouts. His rise through the Hawaiian MMA scene was quick, with each victory adding to his confidence and preparing him for the next level. 2012 was a big year for Holloway. He married Kaimana Pa'alui, a model and actress he had known since high school. The couple also had a son, Rush, born the same year. That year, he finally joined the big leagues on a professional level. UFC career. His skillful striking earned him recognition, and he was signed by the UFC in 2012 at just 20 years old, making him one of the youngest fighters on the roster at the time. He stepped in as a replacement fighter against Dustin Poirier at UFC 143. Losing by submission to Dustin Poirier in his UFC debut wasn't just a loss, it was a gut-wrenching reality check.
He's gonna break his arm. It is all over!
But for Holloway, it was the spark that ignited his legendary rise. It was a lesson in pain that shaped his relentless drive to become one of the UFC's finest. Holloway's willingness to take a fight on short notice against a tough opponent showcases fearlessness and commitment to seizing every opportunity. Despite the loss, Holloway gained valuable experience, which motivated him to work even harder to improve his skills. Following his debut loss, Holloway quickly rebounded with a 3-fight winning streak, showcasing his diverse skill set in striking and cardio. However, the young Hawaiian hit a rough patch, losing consecutive fights to Dennis Bermudez and Conor McGregor between 2012 and 2013. The loss to McGregor, a future UFC star, did little to dampen Holloway's rise, as it motivated him to refine his game and improve his weaknesses. It's worth noting that on a personal level, during this time, Max's marriage faced difficulties, leading to a separation in 2014 and eventual divorce in 2017. Despite the breakup, Max and Kaimana remain on good terms, sharing joint custody of Rush. Holloway is deeply devoted to his son, often referring to Rush as Mini Blessed. Rush is a regular presence at Holloway's fights and events, and the father-son duo shares a close bond. Holloway's early UFC career had its ups and downs, but he rebounded with an unbelievable 13-fight winning streak. During this streak, he defeated rising contenders and veterans such as Cub Swanson, Charles Oliveira, and Jeremy Stevens. These victories demonstrated Holloway's growth as a fighter, particularly his ability to adapt and learn from past setbacks. His striking game became more refined, his cardio unmatched, and his ability to break down opponents with relentless pressure became his signature. His momentum culminated in a fight against Anthony Pettis for the interim UFC featherweight championship at UFC 206 in 2016. Holloway's dominance in that fight, winning via TKO in the third round, earned him the interim title and set up a unification bout with Jose Aldo.
Pettis is in trouble. Holloway's cornered on.
Holloway looking to finish it. It is all over.
Wow.
Max Holloway.
This victory was a turning point in Holloway's career, as it demonstrated his ability to perform at the highest level and positioned him as a top contender in the featherweight division. The next year, in June 2017, at UFC 212 in Brazil, Max Holloway walked into enemy territory to face Jose Aldo, the featherweight king. The first two rounds were a chess match. However, in the third, Holloway unleashed a storm of strikes, breaking Aldo's spirit and cementing himself as the new undisputed UFC featherweight champion after a TKO victory. He defended the title successfully in a rematch with Aldo later that year.
Getting in there. He might stop this thing soon. That'll do it. Max Holloway.
Once again winning by TKO. Holloway's reign as champion saw him face some of the toughest challengers in the division. In 2018, he defended his title against Brian Ortega in a dominant performance that solidified his place as one of the best featherweights in UFC history. Holloway's striking volume, precision, and stamina were on full display as he outclassed Ortega, forcing a doctor stoppage in the fourth round. Despite his dominance, Holloway's career saw ups and downs as he attempted to move up to the lightweight division in 2019 in a rematch against Dustin Poirier for the interim UFC lightweight championship at UFC 236. Holloway lost a hard-fought bout via unanimous decision. Returning to the featherweight division, Holloway faced Alexander Volkanovski in December 2019 at UFC 245, where he lost his featherweight title in a unanimous decision. A controversial rematch at UFC 251 in July 2020 also ended in defeat for Holloway by split decision. It's worth noting that on a personal level, in 2020, Holloway began dating professional surfer Alessa Quizon, a fellow Hawaiian athlete. The couple got engaged in November of that year. Despite these professional setbacks, Holloway remained a top contender, showcasing his resilience and determination by securing significant wins over Calvin Kattar and Yair Rodriguez. In 2021, his victory over Calvin Kattar was particularly notable for breaking the UFC record for significant strikes landed. It was a striking masterclass, with Holloway landing a record-breaking 445 significant strikes, proving that he was still at the peak of his abilities. On the other hand, his win over Yair Rodriguez demonstrated his versatility and ability to adapt against an unpredictable and dangerous opponent. In 2022, Holloway faced Alexander Volkanovski in their third matchup at UFC 276 for the featherweight title. Unfortunately, Holloway was unable to secure the victory, with Volkanovski retaining the belt via unanimous decision. Despite the loss, Holloway remained a prominent figure in the division, determined to earn another shot at gold. On a personal note, Holloway and his wife got married on April 16, 2022 in a beautiful beachside ceremony in Ko'olina, Hawaii. Quizon, who has competed in the World Surf League, shares Holloway's love for their Hawaiian heritage and active lifestyle. Although Holloway and Quizon do not have children together, Alessa has embraced her role as a stepmother to Rush. Through these relationships, Holloway has built a supportive and loving family. Back to his octagon activity. In April 2023, Holloway faced Arnold Allen at UFC on ESPN 44. This was a key fight for Holloway as it allowed him to reaffirm his standing in the featherweight division. He put on a vintage performance, defeating Allen via unanimous decision. This showcased his superior striking and octagon control. which reasserted him as the clear number 2 in the featherweight pecking order just behind Volkanovski. Holloway then went on to fight Chang Sung Jung, also known as the Korean Zombie, on August 26, 2023 in Singapore. This was another impressive performance by Holloway, as he knocked out Jung in the main event of UFC Fight Night 225. The fight was an emotional farewell for Jung, who announced his retirement following the bout. Holloway paid tribute to his opponent, recognizing the legacy the Zombie had built in the sport. In 2024, Holloway made a bold move by stepping up to lightweight for only the second time in his UFC career. He competed at UFC 300, held on April 13, 2024, against Justin Gaethje with the BMF title on the line. Holloway secured a stunning knockout victory over Gaethje at the very last second of the fight. Capturing the BMF belt and establishing himself as a major player at lightweight. This win showcased Holloway's versatility and readiness to compete in 2 weight classes, keeping his options open for future title opportunities in either division. Holloway's ambitions also included regaining the featherweight title, particularly after Ilia Topuria defeated Alexander Volkanovski for the belt in February. With Volkanovski taking time off to recover, Holloway positioned himself for a fight with Topuria, with a chance to reclaim the featherweight championship at UFC 308. Holloway expressed that his focus was still on securing the undisputed featherweight title, but his move to lightweight also opened new doors, especially after beating a top contender like Gaethje. Throughout these years, Holloway emphasized his desire to build a lasting legacy in the UFC. He spoke of his ambition to be remembered as one of the greats, a sentiment echoed by many fans and analysts who believe that he already belongs in the UFC Hall of Fame. His mix of charisma, fighting style, and willingness to take on top opponents, regardless of weight class, has made Holloway one of the most respected figures in MMA. Max remains a top contender in the UFC, continuing to push for championship glory. Fighting style. Max Holloway's fighting style is widely regarded as one of the most dynamic and effective in the UFC, largely due to his exceptional striking volume, precision, and relentless pace. Holloway is known for overwhelming his opponents with a barrage of punches, consistently landing strikes from multiple angles, and maintaining a level of pressure that few can match. This approach has earned him the UFC record for the most significant strikes landed in history. At the core of Holloway's style is his ability to fight at a high volume. Rather than relying on single knockout blows, Holloway breaks his opponents down with combination, often mixing up punches to the head and body. His footwork and lateral movement are key to his success, allowing him to avoid damage while constantly staying within striking range. Holloway's jab is one of his most effective tools, which he uses to set up his combinations and keep his opponents off balance. His fight against Calvin Kattar in 2021 is a prime example of this, where Holloway landed 445 significant strikes, the most in a single UFC fight. Although primarily known for his striking, Holloway's grappling is often overlooked. While he doesn't frequently engage in wrestling, his takedown defense is excellent, allowing him to keep fights standing where his striking shines. Holloway has also developed proficiency in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, having earned a brown belt and occasionally employing submissions when necessary. Holloway's cardio is another critical component of his fighting style. His ability to maintain a relentless pace across 5 rounds has helped him outlast many opponents, especially in championship fights. He often wears down fighters with his pressure, as seen in his title fights against Jose Aldo, where his superior conditioning and ability to absorb damage allowed him to take over the fight in the later rounds. Another example of this was his fight against Calvin Kattar in 2021, where Holloway's relentless pressure and cardio enabled him to throw over 700 strikes, ultimately overwhelming Kattar and securing a decisive victory. Despite his striking prowess, Holloway can be susceptible to heavy hitters. His willingness to engage in brawl sometimes opens him up to taking unnecessary damage, as was evident in his fights against Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski. Nevertheless, Holloway's durability and adaptability have allowed him to remain a top contender in the featherweight division. Max Holloway's fighting style is defined by his high-volume striking, footwork, precision, and relentless pressure. He consistently overwhelms opponents with combinations from multiple angles and is known for his cardio and stamina. Holloway's jab and footwork are key to his success, allowing him to keep opponents off balance while landing a barrage of strikes. He uses feints effectively to create openings and disrupt his opponent's rhythm, making it difficult for them to find a comfortable pace. His ability to keep pushing forward, even when faced with adversity, is a key aspect of his fighting style. He has an iron chin, able to absorb significant damage while continuing to press the action. His fights are often marked by his willingness to stand in the pocket and trade with opponents, showcasing his toughness and determination to break their will. Holloway's adaptability is another crucial element of his fighting style. He has shown the ability to adjust his approach based on his opponent, whether it means increasing his output, focusing on counter strikes, or mixing in grappling to keep his adversary guessing. His high fight IQ allows him to read his opponents and exploit their weaknesses, making him one of the most versatile fighters in the UFC. Holloway's performances are not just about physical prowess, but also about strategy, intelligence, and his ability to stay calm under pressure. Unique training regimen, no sparring. While Holloway admits that he no longer needs to spar as frequently due to his experience, his MMA routine still includes heavy bag work and jiu-jitsu to keep his skills sharp. His focus is on perfecting his striking, which remains the cornerstone of his fighting style. Known for his relentless pace in the octagon, Holloway emphasizes cardio. He uses high-intensity interval training, HIIT, that involves sprints, battle ropes, and jump rope exercises. His goal is to maintain his exceptional cardio levels, which allow him to keep pushing his opponents even into the championship rounds. Recovery plays a crucial role in Holloway's training regimen. He frequently uses foam rollers, stretching routines, and mobility drills to reduce the risk of injury and ensure he can train consistently. Holloway's decision to cut out sparring was influenced by the desire to preserve his health, particularly his brain. This unorthodox approach was first implemented during his rematch against Alexander Volkanovski, and has since gained attention throughout the MMA community as a way to avoid unnecessary damage. Holloway instead emphasizes technique drilling, mitt work, and grappling to keep his skills sharp. His training partners and coaches help simulate fight scenarios without the intensity of full contact sparring, allowing him to stay prepared without compromising his long-term health. After noticing the benefits of not sparring in the Volkanovski fight, Holloway continued the practice during his preparation for his bout with Calvin Kattar at UFC Fight Island 7 in 2021. Despite his lack of traditional sparring, Holloway delivered one of the most dominant performances in UFC history, landing a record-breaking 445 significant strikes in a fight. His approach focused more on drilling technique and maintaining fitness, allowing him to stay sharp without taking damage before fight night. Holloway cited that sparring often led to unnecessary injuries during camp and found that his body felt better heading into the fight. Holloway's approach gained attention throughout the MMA community, with other fighters starting to reconsider the amount of hard sparring they do in preparation for fights. While sparring has long been considered essential for developing timing and simulating real fight conditions, Holloway's success without it showed that high-level athletes could minimize the risks of long-term damage while still performing at their peak. His success with this method has been particularly influential as fighters and coaches have started to question the need for frequent hard sparring. The conversation around brain health and longevity in combat sports is ongoing, and Holloway's decision has certainly contributed to a broader reconsideration of training methods in MMA. Recovery is another key component of Holloway's training regimen. He incorporates techniques like cryotherapy, massages, and stretching to keep his body in peak condition. Holloway understands the importance of rest and often emphasizes the role of mental health in his training. He uses meditation and visualization techniques to stay focused and calm, particularly before big fights. By taking a holistic approach to training that includes both physical and mental preparation, Holloway ensures that he is ready for any challenge that comes his way. Beyond the octagon. When Max isn't in the octagon, he's riding the waves off the shores of Hawaii, reconnecting with the ocean that's grounded him throughout his career. Surfing isn't just a hobby for Holloway, it's how he finds balance in life and the cage. He spends a lot of time outdoors and has a profound connection with nature. Activities such as hiking, snorkeling, and spending time on the beach are integral parts of his lifestyle. These outdoor pursuits not only offer relaxation and mental clarity, but also contribute to his physical conditioning, enhancing his endurance and agility in the octagon. Holloway finds peace and relaxation in the ocean, and surfing is a way for him to stay connected to his culture. It also helps him maintain his balance and agility, which are crucial elements of his fighting style. Holloway and his wife Alessa often surf together, further strengthening their bond through their shared love for the sport. Cooking is another passion for Holloway. He enjoys experimenting with different recipes, and it allows him to unwind and serve as a creative outlet outside of training. He often shares his dishes on social media, offering fans a glimpse into his chef life. Max is also an avid gamer, and he frequently streams on Twitch where he interacts with fans in real time. Gaming is not only a way for Holloway to relax, but also a means of connecting with his supporters. His charismatic charismatic personality shines through during these streams, making him relatable and accessible to his audience. Holloway's involvement in gaming has also opened up opportunities for collaborations with other gamers and content creators, further expanding his reach beyond MMA. Holloway is passionate about giving back, and he uses his free time to contribute to community projects in Hawaii. Whether it's organizing charity events, visiting schools, or speaking to young athletes, Holloway is committed to making a positive impact. He often mentions how important it is for him to be a role model for the younger generation, particularly those who come from challenging backgrounds like his own. Legacy. Max Holloway's legacy as one of the greatest UFC featherweights is built on his technical skill, resilience, and relentless drive. His journey took off after early setbacks, including a loss to Conor McGregor in 2013, but from there, he then launched a legendary 13-fight winning streak. This streak, featuring wins over elite fighters like Cub Swanson, Charles Oliveira, and Anthony Pettis, culminated in Holloway becoming the undisputed UFC featherweight champion by defeating Jose Aldo in 2017. Known for his volume striking, endurance, and adaptability, Holloway's performance against Brian Ortega in 2018, where he broke multiple striking records, stands as one of the most dominant in featherweight history. Despite losing his title to Alexander Volkanovski, Holloway's competitive spirit never wavered. He consistently pushed for another shot at the belt, solidifying his status as a fan favorite. Holloway's ambition led him to fight in multiple weight classes, including a lightweight bout and a recent win over Chang Sung Jung in 2023. His most recent fight for the BMF title against Justin Gaethje, which he came out victorious, is another testament to his fearless pursuit of tough challenges. Beyond the octagon, Holloway's legacy is about more than just victory. His connection with fans, charitable work, and openness about personal struggles, such as mental health, have made him an inspirational figure. He has used his platform to give back to his community in Hawaii, participating in youth mentorship programs and charity events, which has further endeared him to fans. Holloway's adaptability and resilience, even in defeat, have defined his career. His rivalry with Volkanovski remains one of the most compelling in the featherweight division, showcasing Holloway's unyielding love for the sport and his ability to evolve after every challenge. From a young, hungry prospect to a battle-tested champion, Max Holloway has left an indelible mark on the UFC and the hearts of fight fans everywhere. While his career is far from over, one thing is clear: Max Holloway's legacy will live on for generations. The best is truly blessed, and his warrior spirit and genuine love for combat sports made him one of the most beloved figures in MMA history. Holloway is not the only warrior in MMA today, though. Learn more about Valentina Shevchenko's epic life and career by watching this documentary we did on The Bullet. See you there.